Digital splendor. Literature illuminated.
All right, welcome. Today we're going to try and demystify one of the most profound and, let's be honest, confusing texts ever written, the Tao Te Ching. You know, it's one of those guides to living that basically takes everything we think is common sense and flips it completely upside down. It uses paradox to point us toward a much deeper kind of truth. So let's dive in and explore some of these really mind-bending ideas together.
So right off the bat, the book just throws this huge question at you. It asks you to consider, what if being soft is actually stronger than being hard? I mean, really think about that. What if doing less could somehow achieve more? What if the most valuable things in our lives are, in fact, empty? These are some pretty wild ideas, right? Let's see where this path takes us.
Okay, first things first, we've got to talk about the Tao itself. And the book's very first lines kind of warn us. This isn't going to be simple. The whole point is that the true way can't really be put into words.
And boom, right there, we hit our first huge paradox. Here we have a book that's all about the Tao, and the first thing it tells you is, hey, anything you name or define, yeah, that's not it. It's like the second you think you've got it pinned down, the second you slap a label on it, poof. The real, infinite nature of it has already slipped right through your fingers.
So instead of being some specific thing you can point to, the Tao is more like this formless potential that everything springs from. It gets called the mother of all things, which is a beautiful way to put it. It's this silent, invisible source of the entire universe. And here's the kicker. Its power doesn't come from what it is, but from the fact that it's the wellspring for everything else.
This whole idea of a formless, unnameable source, well, it leads us right into another one of the book's biggest ideas, the power of emptiness. Basically, it's saying that real value, it's often found not in what's there, but in what's not there. There's this amazing line from the text that just nails it. Usefulness comes from what is not there. I mean, that is such a huge shift in how we normally see the world. We're all trained to focus on the solid stuff, the things we can see and touch. But the Tao Te Ching is asking us to look at the space, the absence, the nothingness. And the book uses these really simple, everyday examples to get the point across. So think about a wheel. What makes it work? It's the empty space in the middle, the hub that lets it turn. Or a clay pot. It's only useful because of the emptiness inside that can hold things. A room is just a box of walls until you have that empty space to live in. Yeah, the solid parts give it shape, but it's the emptiness that actually gives it a purpose.
Okay, so if the Tao is formless and emptiness is what makes things useful, then how are we supposed to act? Well, this brings us to that super famous concept of Wu Wei, which you can translate as effortless action.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Effortless action sounds like a great excuse to be lazy, right? But it's actually the complete opposite. It's all about getting things done with the most efficiency possible by not fighting against the natural flow of things. You know, it's kind of like being in a flow state. Think about an athlete or an artist who's just so in the zone that everything feels, well, effortless. That's Wu Wei. It's the art of moving with the way things are, instead of trying to just force your will on the world.
And you can really see the difference right here. On one side, you've got the way we usually operate, forcing things, striving, always trying to control the outcome. But on the other side, you've got the way of the Tao, allowing things to happen, yielding, doing great work, and then just letting it go without needing to take all the credit. It's really all about letting go of that desperate need to be in control of everything.
So what happens when you take this approach? Well, we're back to another one of those beautiful paradoxes. By just letting go of a strict agenda, by stopping all that forcing, you actually become capable of accomplishing pretty much anything. I mean, the universe itself runs perfectly without trying, right? And Wu Wei is all about tapping into that same effortless kind of power. To make this idea even more concrete, the Tao Te Ching gives us this really powerful metaphor that comes up again and again. It says, if you really want to get the Tao, just go watch some water. Just think about it for a second. Water helps everything grow, right? It nourishes everything it touches, and it never asks for a thank you. It always flows to the lowest places, the humble spots nobody else really wants. It seems so soft and weak, but over time, it can wear away the hardest rock. You can try to stop it, but it will always, always find a way through or around. It yields, but you can never truly defeat it.
This quote from the text just says it all, perfectly.
In a world that's just obsessed with force and being strong, the Tao reminds us that real, lasting strength is actually found in being flexible, in being persistent, and in being humble. The rock, it stands rigid, and eventually it breaks. The water just flows, and it endures.
So, okay, what does all this mean for something like leadership or influence? Well, as you've probably guessed by now, the Taoist way is completely counterintuitive.
Yeah, just forget that whole image of the leader out front, charging ahead of everyone. The wise leader, the sage, embraces humility. They're not looking for the spotlight. They're not trying to grab the top spot. Instead, they put everyone else's needs first.
And guess what? Here comes that paradox again. By putting themselves last, they somehow end up at the front, lifted there by the very people they serve. By not being all wrapped up in their own self-interest, their own well-being is actually protected. It's a great reminder that true authority isn't something you take, it's something you're given.
So the key takeaway here is pretty amazing. When a leader just steps out of that constant rat race for status and competition, they're suddenly playing a whole different game. Their influence becomes way more powerful, precisely because they're not desperately trying to get it. Think about it. No one can compete with you if you simply refuse to compete.
So, as we've seen, every single big idea in the Tao Te Ching, from the unnameable Tao itself to the wisdom of water to how to be a leader, they all point in the same direction. It's basically this big invitation to just let go, to trust the natural flow of things, and to find real strength in what the rest of the world thinks is weakness.
And that really just leaves us with one last thought to chew on. Our world is loud. It's constantly shouting for our attention, right? It values noise and action and being seen above almost everything else. But the Tao suggests that the real power, the actual source of wisdom, lies in the quiet, in the stillness. So the question it leaves for all of us is, in a world that never stops shouting, how can you and I learn to listen to the silence?